Okay, we have about 500 milliliters of water in a large beaker with a stir bar inside of it. What we're going to do is we're going to add 5 milliliters of universal indicator. And to the 5 milliliters of indicator and the water, we're going to add milk of magnesia. 20 milliliters of milk of magnesia. Probably less would be perfectly fine. If you let the universal indicator and the milk of magnesia sit for a little while, it eventually goes considerably more blue-purple than it is right now. It just takes a little bit of time for the milk of magnesia to kind of disperse in the solution and dissolve a little bit more than it originally was in the bottle, now that you've diluted it with the water. Regardless, we have a relatively blue mixture of our milk magnesia and our universal indicator and the water. And we're going to add dropperfuls of concentrated hydrochloric acid. So we've got hydrochloric acid in here in a beaker, and I'm going to add dropperfuls. And it's important to add it around the outside of the water as opposed to the very center of the water, because that way it'll mix in a little bit faster. So that's a full dropper of concentrated hydrochloric acid. And the solution slowly goes back to its blue color. We'll add another dropper of the concentrated hydrochloric acid. You can see it relatively quickly gets back to its blue color. And we'll be able to do this a few more times. It's hard to tell probably on camera, but every time I do this, every time I add a dropper full, the solution becomes more clear than it previously was. So the clarity is increasing as the magnesium hydroxide is continuously being reacted. It's becoming, the solution or the mixture is becoming more transparent. You can almost see through the beaker. It's a little difficult, but you can almost see through the beaker. Our mixture has become relatively neutral. It appears to be a greenish yellow, which is fairly neutral. If you were to let this go for even longer, it would continue to turn even more blue. As you can see, I'm going to add 1 drop of the concentrated acid. Didn't quite clarify the solution. It's more like a titration at this point than anything. And if you were to add a complete eyedropper at this point, then the solution would take an extremely long amount of time. It's clarifying enough so that you can see the stir bar in the bottom, and probably it's clarified enough now so that you can see my hand in the background. So we've reacted all of the milk of magnesia now, or the vast majority of it, and our solution will no longer be able to change color.